ABC Grandstand Queensland Cup Rugby League. Today, round 21, and with the semis looming, East Tigers host competition leaders South Logan Magpies at Langlands Park, Stones Corner. Well, South Logan are shooting for their second minor premiership in a row, and if results go their way and they win today, they could even be minor premiers with a round to go up their sleeve next weekend. But today they have to face the Tigers.
Really say it hasn't been the year of the Tiger at all. Very, very disappointing for them. 5 wins and 15 losses, would you believe? Their opponents today are having the opposite. They've actually got 5 losses and 15 wins. So a very unbalanced competition possibly this afternoon. Have a look at the side. A lot of injuries in their side as well. So it's pretty tough for the Tigers, but I'm sure they'll give a good account of themselves. Matthew Lindsay there at fullback. Young Ruthenberg on the wing there, along with Farmita, who will wear the number 4. Liam Campbell and Dean Shepherd in the centres. Good and experienced halves. They're the key for East today. Isaac Kaufman and Jace Van Dyke. And then in the forwards, Panapa, Thorpe and Williams. Pretty good back row, that, particularly the 11 and 12 are good young kids. And then Durdford and Stosic, very experienced. And Dane Phillips up there to do the hooking role. So it's an easy 15 metres, and that makes a huge difference. The next ruck's a far easier one. Run out of dummy half there by Quinton Lalu Tonga again. They're managing to keep going forward after the first defender gets to them, and that's an ominous sign. Working down a blind side. It's better defence. Poor tackle, so the South Logan boys up there to Herbert, back on the inside, 19 to Mills. Mills got a bit of support as well. Up there to Lalu Tonga. Oh, he still tries the pass as well to Brophy. That didn't have to, but decided he would anyway. I reckon he was over the try line. But what a beautiful pass back on the inside by Herbert to Milne, and then back up was there in numbers to finish it off.
They've looked very sharp already, the Magpies, just on the fringe. Inside ball from Herbert. Milne hit it with perfect timing, made the break. Lalu Tonga actually had to catch up, and surely would have scored himself if he kept going, but rather than take the risk with Matthew Ruthenberg hanging on to him, gave it out to his winger, and a good try.
And Herbert, he adds the extras as well. 6-0, the Magpies.
A good start for South Logan, but also an equally good start, other than defensively a little bit for the Tigers. And righty, they do have doubles. I've got them, and if I got Lalu Tonga in them, I'll be dirty.
You'd not be happy. And you'd be dirty too if you're a South supporter to see that happen too. Milne, who was so instrumental in the try. What you've got to do then is cover those kickoffs, and kick goes 50. Knocked on. Oh dear. Isaac Kaufman was the man who knocked it on. He was the one who saved the try earlier.
South Logan plus 206 in for and against the Tigers, minus 168. And their defence has been disappointing this season, the East Tigers.
They're going to pay a price if they allow this to occur. Nathan Mills straight through. Might have enough pace to go all the way himself. Basic play from the base of the scrum, and Mills scoots through. Well, he certainly made up for his slight error at the kickoff, and he figured in the first try, scores the second from the base of the scrum. Little second man play, nothing fancy. Most sides run it these days, so they should not have been foiled by this, the Tigers. There's the second man play with Tonga and Liam Campbell it was, who was sucked in and allowed Milne to just curve around, and then enough pace to make whatever. And Herbert going to try and add the extras again. Beautiful kick it is too. 2 from 2 and 12 points to 0.
With the perfect conversion to that try again as well to get the 12-0 scoreline, and is in for a long afternoon if their defence doesn't stiffen up the Tigers.
Well, it's ominous.
Sorry, Warren, good call though, Gab, on young Ruthenberg, and he's only a 19-year-old, and once Campbell had decided to go in, he really had to go with him, and by staying out, left the gap.
One thing we did see, though, there was a good speed shown by Matthew Lindsay, the East fullback, chasing David Milne. Milne's a flyer, and Lindsay, well, gave it a shot of catching him. So look forward to seeing Lindsay get a bit of ball in space later in the match, because he's been included in the Tigers in the latter half of the season. Now, South Logan on the march. Ominous signs here for the Tigers. 12-0 after 12 minutes. As King just serves it up to Dennis. Throws the dummy, goes himself. Pulls them in. 3 make the tackle behind the ruck. 5th tackle now. Herbert goes to the line and pops the kick through. It will be too big. And went a long way too far that time from Herbert.
South Logan have dominated possession, 70-odd% of the ball. but you still don't hand it over as easily as that. Come the big matches, next week's a big game for South Logan, the last round of fixtures, and then the finals. You want everything spot on. You want to turn the screws and give nothing to the opposition. So Coach Mark Beaumont will not have been happy with the kick, nor Herbert himself.
As Durnford plays the ball 10 short of halfway, and Liam Campbell, the centre, has a scoot out of dummy half. He's got a skirt and a scoot. I think didn't go too far anyway. Here's Durnford again, second hit up in the set. We've got young back rowers, second rowers in Brent Williams and Stephen Thorpe, 21 and 20 years old. High kick from Van Dyke, and Milnes got it. Good chase from the lock forward there in Dean Shepherd. Now there's two Dean Shepherds, can you believe it, playing for the Tigers today. One Shepherd coming off the bench, and Dean Shepherd, originally picked at lock, now playing in the centres. So number 13 playing in the centres for the Tigers, with Adam Breen out injured, a late exclusion from the team. Now Wally for South Logan. He'll work all day. Just puts his head down, takes it forward. Cross inside for Thompson. Thompson flicks it out as he's going down. Good pass. King can't pick up too many more metres. But Troy Thompson just showing his strength there to be able to pass, and his ability passing as he was falling to ground in the tackle. Wally has a second hit up for the set, and a good one this time. He's on his front as he gets up to play it quickly. And it's the last tackle. Herbert makes sure it's not going to go dead this time. In between fullback and a winger.
Well, the only chance the Tigers have got in today's game after I've seen 15 minutes is for them to attack at everything, because their defence at the moment doesn't look like it's going to hold back the attack of South Logan. So if they're going to get in front by the end of the day, they better put on some great attack themselves. And they're capable. They have got some good attacking players. This time, Stocky to play it up. There goes Jace Van Dyke almost through. Cut down. He was looking for support back on the inside. He's slow to his feet, Van Dyke. That's not a good sign. Hobbling as well. Pass on the outside there to Shepherd. Warren was saying, wearing 13 and playing right centre today. Last tackle, so they're going to have to get a kick away. A little banana kick off the right side of the boot, and we'll find touch, but not a lot of territory. So...
but better than nothing, seeing he got himself in an awkward position. Yep. At least he's picked up 20. You're right, he was rushed, and there Isaac Kaufman just bananaed it, and it turned out to be a pretty smart kick. You know,
certainly East will have to strengthen up, or, as I said earlier, it could be a long afternoon.
Now, from the scrum, out in the centres there, Brophy was out wide. Now Laulu Tongagai trying to shake off the tacklers.
You see there before that South Logan beat East in their meeting earlier in the season. That's better defence from the Tigers. 40 points to 10 in the first round. The Tigers will need to have some more defence like you just saw then if they're going to stop a 30-point differential in this game.
Yeah, that was good effort. Stephen Thorpe saw that Phillips was in there making the tackle, came in with plenty of shoulder to help him out. Wally goes wide. It's Picker. Picker's running today. He's playing a running game, and he's looked dangerous in doing it. That left-hand side. Mick Picker, the halfback. Dennis kicks ahead. Lindsay's got it covered, and it's slightly awkwardly there. It might have got on him a little bit. There just seems to be a little bit of breeze behind those kicks, but he managed to hold on to it okay.
Yeah, quite a strongish breeze. Probably there's a bit of a north, a bit of a westerly in it, I guess.
Just fluctuating a bit, David. Actually, I thought earlier on it was favouring East. I think it might be coming the other way now and just slightly behind South Logan. So,
just we've seen two guys under kicks get into an awkward position, haven't we? As it comes out to Campbell, well tackled by Herbert.
I can understand what Gav says about this fluctuating wind. I went for a bike ride this morning. I was into the wind in both directions.
Or did it just feel like that?
Yes.
It's not the fitness catching up with you, Roddy, is it? Lack of.
I wasn't catching up with anything, actually.
Van Dyke goes for length with this kick, and it bounces out to Reece Robinson. He is slippery. He'll go to the outside here, will he? No, he tries to step between them. Almost comes out the other side.
That's the worry, isn't it? Each time they're starting to get between players and surging forward on most of their tackles. You've got to drive back. That's a good example. Drive back, takes longer, and then the next tackle's easier.
Now Thompson
He's worked hard already, as big Troy Thompson. 156 NRL games for Canberra. Big Troy Thompson. To get up to play it. The foot was being held above the ground. That's as obvious as you can make it for the ref.
Souths do go for the sideline, and they're going to attack. 2 penalties in a row to them. Picker turns it inside to Wally. Wally busts one. Wally only 5 out. Well, the Tigers' defence has to really aim up here. Thompson, he's tall. He gives it to Herbert on the run. Out comes to Milne at the back, but he's lost it forward. Van Dyke's got it for the Tigers. And I noticed one player out there, Lance Morris for East. He's wearing number 5. He's replaced Adam Breen, the winger, but he is playing in the forward. Look at this defence from South Logan. Driving in.
Not going to be an easy afternoon for the Tigers, but they're just going to have to aim up. That's better. I reckon that's what they should be doing. Popping the ball around, having a good go up there to Lindsay. Comes out the other side. Good step, support as well. Up there to Liam Campbell. Oh, good tackle, Milne. Campbell tried to step him back on the inside, but Milne held his ground. Looked like a second tackle as well. Run out of dummy half there by Phillips. Oh, juggling effort, lost it. Well, promising play has come to nothing. The Tigers are going to have to play that sort of footy, Gav, to compete this afternoon.
Yeah, look, that was a very, very good football you were talking about, Morris. He just got that unload away, and then just a little bit of backup. That's where they typically look to go up the middle these days, but surely that was a penalty after he was thrown to the ground twice by Milne.
Well, here it is here. There's the tackle affected. Up to play it. Had to be. So they've been hard done by there, the Tigers.
And they're the sorts of little things that perhaps the Tigers will need just to give them a bit of confidence to get into this game and perhaps make a good competition out of it.
Every now and then they get a good tackle and hit on, but you've got to make everyone count. Working down a blind side. Picker just dribbles it through. You'll hope this goes over the dead ball line, and it will. And Lindsay now will comfortably stroll back to get it back into play. But I tend to agree. I'm a bit of a traditionalist too, Warren. I'd like to see them wear the 1 to 17 head-to-head. The Tigers well and truly dominant. South Logan went through a very tough time a few years back before they got aligned with the Canberra Raiders, and it's made a huge difference. Up there to Herbert. Herbert goes to the line, can't get through. Nice work from Van Dyke to slide on him. David Milne, first receiver. Lets Thompson go. Fires out there to Phil Dennis. Steps, straightens, and we're happy to take the tackle from there inside the 10. Working down a blind side. Picker again. Picker fires it straight up then to Stewart. The Tigers' defence pretty good on this occasion. They've got another couple to go. Pass out the back to Milne. He's living up in that back line after sweeping play. Up there to Tonga Guy. That's better defence. Keeps it alive though. Fires up there to Brophy. Brophy cuts back on the inside. Careful of a straight runner, but good defence too. Nice tackle there by Phillips. Herbert. Picker to the line. They got numbers. Oh, intercept. Knock forward. Oh, knocked forward by South Logan. Or as he called, pass was thrown forward perhaps.
I think it was a forward pass, Dave, the latter.
He's forward because Farmida jumped up. Let's have another look. Pick up. He got the right call too.
Yeah, I like the look of Picker and Herbert today. Herbert on the right, Picker down the left. They look sharp, they're fast, they're running and firing passes to exactly the right man. The only aspect that hasn't been quite on song has been kicking. So they just haven't quite judged that breeze as yet. So the Tigers with the scrum win. Solid contact comes in from Josh White for South Logan. On their own 20 though, the Tigers have spent most of this half coming out of this end of the field. It's been lost back, and no, it's not 6 more. A few of the Tigers players with the referee. It was clumsy though. Lindsay's got it. Stossick charges forward, but he's met by stiff Magpie resistance, including the tackle there from Lewis Balcombe. There's no way through. South Logan getting off their line pretty quickly and meeting the hit-ups from East. They go wider this time. Kaufman holds it up. Can't get the pass away. Tackle by Cross. Phillips has a look, then pops the pass, and it's Dwayne Rigby out there now. Van Dijk chips short. Lindsay's flying through, looking for the bounce. Will he get it? Yes. Tries to throw the pass quickly to Phillips, but it went forward.
Bit unlucky there that Lindsay wasn't able to flick that pass on. It was last tackle, so he got a hold of it and then tried to flick it out the back. Had he been able to affect it, he was probably bumped in his attempt as well. There was some good support by the Tigers on the outside, so I'm glad to see them looking at some good attacking options, the Tigers. Short kick after 24 minutes when you're down 12-0. Good on them. This time, big Lewis Bolcom up over the halfway line. Now the hard work again starts for the Tigers. Phil Dennis to the line, comes straight through, looks for support, can't get that one-hander. Nice tackle it was too by Morris. David Milne breaks out of the tackle. They are breaking tackles. The stat at half-time will be a bit scary. Broken tackles, missed tackles, last tackle play. Dennis, they're going to run it. Out there to Picker. They've got extras. Easily out on the outside there to Stewart. Stewart goes for the line. I'd say he scored it. They had the extras, and all they had to do was to give it to a missile like James Stewart, 21-year-old. He's played 5 games this year for the Canberra Raiders. And given the pass by Brad Cross, he was not going to be stopped. He just went like a missile. Defenders got, this is last tackle play, Picker, Cross. One of the defenders slipped over as well, and then he just set himself to surge across the try line and did it quite comfortably.
Yeah, it's regulation play, but it's well executed. Picker, Cross, quick hands, and Stewart is big and strong and fast.
Herbert in tricky conditions can't convert this one from the opposite side of the field, but it is 16-0. See what the Tigers...
The other thing we saw from South Logan before that try was scored was Phil Dennis throw a dummy, and it was nearly taken. And it's not surprising it was nearly taken because they've got so many good attacking runners, South Logan, in this side today. It can go to anyone, so the defenders are guessing, and occasionally they'll guess that the pass is going to be thrown and make a mistake. Now South Logan bringing it up back to halfway in just a couple of tackles already. And strong straight running now from Matt Pittman.
Good grasping tackle there by Dane Phillips. Just managed to hang on to Herbert, otherwise he was out the other side.
Dennis looks outside and Pittman's through. Pittman, can he find support? Yes, he can. And it's Mick Picker racing in for an easy try. And that was just too easy. Pittman only just coming into the game, made one hit up, got the pass away, then he backed up for the after the next play, the ball, and away he went.
Lovely to watch good ball players. Defence line was there, but a little bit sparse. And Phil Dennis, he does it in the Queensland Cup as good as anyone, if not better than most. Up to the big fella there in Pittman, and then good support play there by Picker. Have a look at Phil Dennis. Little look on the inside, got to the outside man, put the big fellow through a yawning gap, and then support from all directions. This looks scary for the Tigers, and the conversion successful. 4 tries on the trot, 22-0.
Little prospect for the Tigers, but there doesn't look to be the communication. There's no communication going in, going out, staying out. They're not pulling with each other and working with each other in defence, so could be anything here.
Pittman is a former East player, an East Fox player, so that just rubs a bit more salt into the wound as well. And here he is again, taking the tackle. And a little bit of work comes over the top from Dwayne Rigby.
17.
Pittman and Rigby
Phil, grab your player.
at arm's length.
I don't know why you'd bother at 22-0 down.
A lot of pushing and shoving, but no punches being thrown in there.
Rigby tried a bit of a haymaker early. Was obviously not happy with something. These things don't just
Step back. Jace, take
happen out of nothing. Let's see what the officials have got to hear from the report. And I'll have a look at the video as well.
Phil, can you take it back, please?
The ref is stalling at the moment. He's getting both sides back.
I know, but I want to go the other way.
Yep.
The initial thing started that was the person with the ball going in with an elbow to the face of the person on the ground.
Ball carrier?
Yep.
Number?
I didn't get the number, sorry, mate.
No worries then. Phil?
All right. Ball carrier using an elbow, and that's why Dwayne Rigby wasn't happy.
Tash Judge on, listen to his report, and we'll go from there.
Okay. The player with the ball, right, has gone forward, used his elbow in the face of the tackler.
No worries. On that report, with penalty going against you guys, over here. Thanks.
Penalty in possession. Let's have a look at it.
He's come on straight away. Yes, it's
No elbow there.
Penalty's still here.
Unless it's after
We're not
the
here
event.
for an argument. The penalty's here.
Yep,
Oh,
there
a little bit of a
forearm.
nudge.
Well, East will go on the attack. First time they've seen this end of the field. There's the aftermath of it. You can understand why Rigby was a little upset. Got the forearm when he was on his back.
Gee whiz, though, we're going to have fights and penalties for those, Warren. There'll be one in every play the ball.
Oh, you're just going to lie there and cop it then, David, are you?
No, but I mean, there was just a little nudge, wasn't it? You know, I mean, to actually get penalised for it.
Well, the penalty's the question, but you're going to react, I reckon. It's the Tigers on the attack. Van Dijk throws it out to Kaufman. Bit of weird short pass now, variation, and Phillips has tried to slip it out the back, but it's been lost early in the tackle count. And South Logan, well, they just have not had to defend their own line.
Good build-up, but then a little bit of a panic set in, and good tackle on the big fella in Pittman. They've just lodged the ball up quickly. There goes Phillips. Phillips with a good chance now, as have the Tigers. Only 5 metres out. Let's see if they can... they lost the ball on first tackle last time. Have a little bit of patience as well, fellas. Pass up this time to Sutar. He's brought to the ground. They work down a blind side. Throws a bit of a dummy. Defence strong. Dummy runner in Sutar. Kaufman out here to Van Dijk. On the outside to Lindsay. He's a good player, Lindsay. Up there to Campbell. Nice little flick pass it was to Campbell. Keeps it alive. Doesn't go to hand though. So they're going to lose ground in all this, the Tigers. But I'd still be doing it. You've got to throw it around, fellas, if you're going to crack this defence and get a couple of tries today. Panapa to midfield. Dummy half there is Shepherd. This time, good little bust it is. Pass back on the inside, bit panicky, and on the deck. So they're pushing passes and, well, just not coming off.
Yeah, Dane Phillips was the receiver in traffic there, couldn't hold on to it. So South Logan survived two East's raids inside their own 20, and now they're on the counter-attack quickly as Dennis throws it wide, loose, and Brophy just hangs onto it.
Did well too.
Ball pass from Jared Kennedy. He's getting sloppy.
Well, it's forced by Van Dijk. He worked hard out of marker and knocked the arm of the passer. He's the danger man in Dennis, or he's hit high. Last tackle play. Dennis not happy with that. Downfield here by Pickup. Straight down the throat of Matthew Lindsay, who has been dangerous. He's a good broken field runner, but there's no broken field there. Look out, look out. Well, you've got to call held. You got it. These days you call held. Release! It's got me what the interpretation is. There's plenty of times where they call held on those. Obviously, if you lift them up, they'll immediately call held. Poor old Matthew Lindsay was about to end up in the clubhouse the way they were going. And you really can't do anything about it. It's 2-on-1.
Yeah, he is a lightweight too, the fullback. So he was out, well and truly outnumbered there.
What's the ruling there, though, Warren? I thought these days, once a player was being surged backwards, that they would actually call held.
Well, he wasn't lifted off the ground, but I would have thought they would have called held earlier than they did, definitely, yeah. This is Dean Shepherd off the bench. Throws it out the back, and it's the last tackle. They've been caught.
6 tackle.
Oh, dear. Tigers can't afford that. Stephen Thorpe couldn't get rid of the ball.
Hasn't been a good year, Gav, for the Tigers, has it? But they've got a lot of injuries today too, so it was always going to be a tough day at the office.
Look, they've got a lot of injuries, Dave. You know, there's a number of high-profile players. Williams is not there. Jason Williams are talking about there. You talked about Ben Value earlier and a couple of the other regular starters in the forward pack. A lot of young fellas out there as well. You know, I think of this left side, those second rowers, 20 and 21. Young winger out here, Ruthenberger on the wing also. So there's a bit there. They look like they've got a bit of talent. There's just perhaps a little bit of inexperience and obviously lack of confidence.
Trying the big fella in Bolton. So again, South Logan looking dangerous. They've got him on the left if they want to go there. It looks thin to me out here. Let's see if they can make the most of it. Pick a little rubber kick through. Well covered there by Farmita, I think it is. Yes, playing right wing but wearing 4. So now they've got to do the hard work to get out of here. Again, I wouldn't be afraid to throw it around a bit. Kaufman.
East have announced that the coach, Jason Gainey, won't be the coach next season, but as yet they haven't decided who will be. Penalty goes to the Tigers. And that's a former East player, Wade Liddell, who's penalised there, now with the Magpies.
You did a bit of coaching here a few years ago, Gav. Interested?
Many years ago, David. Been doing a bit of coaching down the juniors, as you know. It's a big job these days. It's more and more professional and more time consuming. So you just never say never. Like Darren Smith, you're never retired from coaching, are you?
Absolutely. Once you love it. There's Jace Van Dyke quickly wrapped up.
Herbert came up quickly on him. Sees the playmaker, shut him down. Phillips goes to the right. And it's with Brent Williams. There's a number of stocky, broad-shouldered back rowers in this East team today.
Yeah, well, he played Brisbane 20s last year, Brent Williams. I think he's up from down from Central Queensland, part of that great Williams family. Milne has been dangerous, fading across, and bang! Stephen Thorpe, another young fella, 20-year-old, decided to put him on his back and did well. So they are willing, the Tigers, but they're basically outpowered. Brophy. This tackle count will not look pretty. Dennis up the middle again surging forward all the time. Means the defenders aren't attacking. Right dummy out there by Big Matty King. There's a good tackle though by the big fella. I think that was Williams again. Forced to knock on. So they're not dominating on all occasions. There was young Brent Williams, but every now and then a few individuals put a good hit on. There's Herbert.
But they've worked hard, David, the young back rowers for the Tigers, Williams and Thorpe. I've been impressed with how they've been going. You saw the one of the only breaks made by Lindsay there earlier in that first half. He's obviously got some potential, so there's a little bit there to work with. You have a bad season, and as you know, you have a good season, the confidence is with you all the time. You have a bad season, it's not quite there, things don't come off. You get some injuries that accentuate that situation, and before you know it, you're really struggling. But looks like they've got a few young players there that they can build a team around, hopefully, and be perhaps more competitive in coming years.
As Kaufman gets on the outside. But Gavin, the problem for the Tigers is they're a proud, traditional Brisbane club, and their record in the Queensland Cup is none from 15. They got to the grand final twice, but none from 15. I'm sure it must really irritate everyone who's associated with the club. They want to be strong, don't they?
Look, I absolutely. Every club wants to be strong. Is there reasons for it? Perhaps there is. Have they got the players that they needed? Every year I'm sure they start with what they believe are the players that they need to win the comp. Things conspire against you, there's no doubt. I believe, and I've been down the club for many years. We've underachieved over those times, and there's no one from Des Morris right down through to the under-12s coach, I'd say, that doesn't want to see them succeed. But at the moment, it's just not happening. So there might have to be a few changes along the way.
Yes, as Milne throws the pass to Brophy and he can't hang on to it. So a mistake made by the Magpies right in front of their own post. This is the Tigers' chance with just a minute on the clock in the first half.
And the ref stopped the clock, and as we said in the opener too, the fact that there's the pass couldn't be handled by Brophy, but the fact that Tim Smith, who had been signed by the Tigers, dual registered with the Bronx, was playing well also. Remember that day we were here early in the season, it was the Tim Smith show. He just basically ran the whole thing. He obviously then went down to Cronulla, so that was a huge effect on the Tigers. But Tim Smith stayed around. They might have been playing in the finals themselves this time. There to Kaufman, runs out of dummy, throws the dummy himself. Be good to see the Tigers get some reward for their efforts in this first half. Minute up to half-time, you don't have to score on every ruck play. This time the big fella in Rigby showed a little bit of fire before when he retaliated to a bit of a shoving forearm. This time out there to Van Dyke, long pass on the outside to Campbell. Nice pass down the outside there to Ruthenberg. Young fellow, no! Young guy, Ruthenberg, 19 years of age. I think he's just, the ref's already going back to midfield. Well, it was a great long pass by Van Dyke out to Liam Campbell, who decided to just give Ruthenberg a chance to sneak across. The cover defence ultimately swamped him.
Now look, it's been an improving effort from the Tigers as this half has gone on. They've started to aim up in defence, and they've started to see a little bit of the attacking end of the field. So it's not all hope gone, as much as they're a long way behind heading towards half-time.
Up over the halfway line come South Logan, and there it is, the half-time hoodah.
Yeah, Jared Kennedy, the last play the ball of the half, and it's been a half dominated by South Logan. Scored 2 quick early tries to lead 12-0 and have extended it now 22-0 in favour of South Logan over East at half-time.
NRL Tactics Thursday night, only on Fox Sports.
Why might you need a global bank like HSBC?
HSBC cameras.
So Jace Van Dyke with the kick-off, and it's an awkward bounce at the back for South Logan, but they've safely got it at least. So will we see suddenly the ferocity of the defence, the intensity, the speed off the line from the Tigers step up here and try and launch themselves back into this game? A good tackle there by Dean Shepherd. He moved up quickly, went round the legs as his teammates went over the top. 3 on the tackle again. Now Dennis decides to hit it up. A little bit of a step and a dummy, but it wasn't all that convincing. King hands it away to a strong running Pittman. He's made an impact every time he's handled. He hasn't been tackled, well, not easily. Picker kicking from halfway. And Gavin Payne is with Mark Beaumont, the South Logan coach.
That's reasonably happy with that first half?
Yeah, so far, I said we probably started very well, but towards the back end of that half, a few mistakes crept in, so we weren't, as a group, we weren't real happy with that, but hopefully we'll rectify that in the second half.
I commented at half-time about during the first half, I should say, about the team in attack. They look like they're in the groove, they look well structured, know each other's play and that, so you've done a fair bit of work on that?
Yeah, we have, obviously, with our, our flying guys that come in each week. Now we're getting to the back end of the season, we're starting to get that bit of continuity in our play, and with our halves and with Phil there, we just sort of get that bit of bit of shape and a bit of continuity to hopefully progress through the next couple of weeks.
You mentioned Phil Dennis. He's having a great game in that first half. He must be a good influence for those young halves that you have there and give them good direction.
Oh, definitely. Phil's been good for us, not only this year, but, in previous years as well. And, he's a vital part of our footy side. He's got good control. His enthusiasm's really good, and as I said, he gives us that calming influence out there that we need sometimes.
They come with their mind on the job, but these are difficult games, as we said, to play the lower ranked sides when you're well on top, near the top of the ladder or at the top of the ladder. So how did you motivate, how did you get them up for this game?
Oh, yeah, they are hard games, but, there is no easy games in Queensland Cup, and I think, the day you start underestimating somebody is the day you're going to, get beat and probably get beaten well. So, but also for us, that at the moment, we sit in first spot and, a win here today and, a win next week will sort of cement that for us.
Thanks,
and here's a chance for
Thank
South Logan, thanks to Mark Beaumont, the South's coach, as they make a break down the middle of the field and looked as if it could well have been a try, but they couldn't quite finish it off.
Yeah, Matty King wasn't able to hold it. He juggled for a moment, but just couldn't. So some desperate defence here from the Tigers. Phil Dennis it was who popped the original pass up, and Matty King just the ankle tap off-balanced him. He then couldn't control possession, and the Tigers showing an element of desperation, albeit they allowed Phil Dennis again to come through the line.
Through the dummy.
Yeah, and he's so good at it. The Tigers have changed 5 of their designated 10 interchanges.
Fabian Suter hitting it up. He's a big man. He needs to lead the charge, but it's lost by Kaufman. Juggled and lost. Down it goes, and well, it makes it difficult for the Tigers, and their coach Jason Gainey is with Gavin.
Thanks for joining us, Jason. Steady start, fair to say, to the match where you sort of looked like you were in a bit of control. Defence wasn't so great, but sort of fell away a little bit after that.
Yeah, it's been a big problem for us. We seem to be able to play that first 15 minutes, and then after that we just fall right away. So defensively, I thought we were pretty poor. We went back a bit of arm grabbing, and South's got a couple of good tries from us.
You mentioned that in the defence, looked like a little bit passive. There's not that killer instinct with someone being held up in the tackle to come in and drop them onto the ground.
Yeah, whether it's, we're only playing with a young side at the moment. We've got a lot of injuries, and, hopefully the young kids will find their feet and get a lot of lessons out of this year.
You mentioned the young kids as well. I've been most impressed with the young back rowers in Williams and Thorpe, and also Lindsay at fullback looked like he's got a bit of ability.
Yeah, Stephen Thorpe's come right through our system from Colts, so he's a really good kid, and he's going to play a lot of first grade for a long time now.
So what do you think you're looking to do in the second half? I mean, just try and get on top a little bit and get a bit of spirit back into the side.
Yeah, we'd like to control the footy. We haven't been down their end often, and when we've been down there, we've pushed a few passes, and all we've done is turn it over. So hopefully we can work ourselves down that end of the field and control the ball a little bit better. Would be good.
And Jason, not much longer to go in the season. All the best for the next game or two.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Jason Gainey, the East coach, as Matt King was over the line, held up. South Logan, last tackle caught.
What was Mick Picker thinking? Obviously didn't know it was the last tackle play. He took the tackle and he didn't seem to have any urgency about him. See him lose count when you have a held up over the line, which the Tigers did well to effect on Matt King. Farmita works his way to dummy half. Good quick play the ball. Keeping it alive. Bumping effort there on Sutari. Kept it alive as well. Up there to Phillips. Good chance on the outside, that left-hand side. But South Logan adjusting quickly. Penalty will help the Tigers to get some good distance and a good chance to attack from inside their opponent's half.
That was a good offload by Fabian Suter, but he's felt the effects of the tackle. He's got hands on hips and just sucking it in at the moment. He went to ground heavily, but the Tigers can go on the attack, as you said, David.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of attack ball, but they have tried to throw it around. Let's see what they can do in this area of the park. Up there to Brent Williams, turned back on the inside. And South Logan have been rock solid there. The inside ball has not been too helpful. Van Dyke puts it on the outside there to Kaufman. Out there to Matthew Lindsay, and that's a good outside-in tackle there by Stewart. Shuts it down straight away. Kaufman goes the line, turns it back up there to Shepherd. Good chance on his left-hand shoulder, just couldn't offload. I don't know why there wasn't people screaming there. There were some gaps on that side. Run out of dummy half here by the other fellow, Shepherd. Both Dean Shepherd, but this one's Shepherd. Ball on the deck. Phillips, 6 to go. Here's the best chance of all for the Tigers now. Can they get their first try and maybe back-to-back tries to breathe some life into this game? Big fella there in Sutar. Lumbers forward. Dean Shepherd playing the dummy half roll, fades across, finds Kaufman on the outside there to Van Dyke. He's got numbers on each shoulder. Beautiful pass, slipped over. Thorpe, he changed direction and lost his footing when he was in space. They get another chance. Kaufman, the ball behind him, that'll make it difficult. Keeps it alive, up there to Phillips. Phillips throws the dummy. He was forced into doing that because some defence was racing up on the outside in Robinson. Only the third tackle, so they don't have to push the pass here either. A little run out of dummy half there, but a little fella in Shepherd quickly wrapped up. He was hopeful if he thought he was going to steal a try from there. Phillips, little grubber kick through, could be interesting, and they've had to put it dead. Nice work, Tigers. They've kept some pressure on, Gav.
Yeah, look, a better start to the second half. Certainly Jason Gainey didn't appear to be too happy with how they're playing, or perhaps how the game was going himself. I'm not sure exactly what the issues there, but certainly they put a little bit of pressure on, showed some enterprising play, had a couple of darts. I think they slip over there by Thorpe out on the left-hand side. Maybe if he kept going out, they might have got to the corner. So better play. Let's see if they can't convert that to some points and get back into the match.
Yeah, South Logan taking their time here before dropping out after Stewart knocked it dead. Herbert's got the ball now. The Tigers desperately want to try here. That kick drop out to halfway, and Kaufman falls forward as he takes it. Sutar looks to pass, but takes the tackle, now does pass. Lindsay steals a few more metres, but can they catch him? Yes, they can. Thompson squashes him to ground. Kaufman inside to Shepherd. 30 metres out. Just need to bend this South defence to put it into some disarray. Kaufman wide to Van Dyke, wide pass to Campbell. Campbell's away. Campbell for the corner. Mill comes across into touch. Into touch. I thought he was going to make it okay. Liam Campbell flying there onto the ball from Van Dyke.
Here's the shot of it. Campbell carrying the ball in his right arm, still up very high, doing it comfortably at this stage.
Foot.
Don't tell me he puts his own foot into touch. Oh, that's pedantic. Did that barely touch the line? Gee whiz, that's less than a blade of grass. Have a look at this, the touchy on the spot, the shadows there.
Look, if he'd
probably right, but gee whiz.
But equally, you could ask, why did Campbell cut it so fine? I mean, Milne was flying across to make the tackle. It was Milne versus Campbell. Now, he could have put his body and shoulder into him and cut out the sideline. But they just cannot score, can they?
when you're down and out, nothing goes for you.
You know, a toe on the sideline, or half a toe on the sideline, but he needed to extend himself out there and dive to get into that corner, I think, just to show that desperation. Perhaps that little bit of the season for the Tigers.
Well, they need to stay confident, resolute, because Thorpe was through and slipped over. Campbell's gone to the line, but toed on the sideline. And now it's South Logan back in possession. Lost ball out the back. While he goes back and picks it up, but it was knocked on.
And Warren, it was so close, the touchy could have let it go to the video. It could have gone to the video for a call. Now,
that's a good call.
They do like these guys to back themselves, but I tell you what, that was a millimetre in it.
I think he got it right though, David.
Well, it was a millimetre on the chalk, wasn't it?
So, I give him applause for having the courage to make the decision. He saw it, he believed it was on the sideline, he put his flag up.
Ron Greentree, the touch judge on that side of the field. Our other touch judge today, Spain.
This time, Liam Campbell. Cuts back on the inside, so they've got them busted again, the Tigers. Well, if they can get some points on, you just wouldn't know what could happen in this match. Pass up there to Rigby. Running too high, really, and not surging forward there, Rigby. It was just an easy target to be wrapped up awkwardly. Kaufman goes to the line, puts it out the back. Up there to Phillips, does well. He's playing everywhere at the moment, is Dane Phillips. He was on the right wing at one stage. He's played right centre. He's certainly not playing dummy half. A little run out of there. Up there to Shepherd. The other Shepherd, we've got a Dean Shepherd in 13 and a Dean Shepherd in 17. They both had good games. Up there to, again, Campbell. He stumbles off the pass from Van Dyke. The defence a bit stronger here with the last tackle play. High ball. Maybe they'll get a bit of luck from here. Little chip up. Play on. There it is. Up there to Phillips. Another second kick. This could be it from Ida. Milne across to save the day. Well, at least the Tigers are calling the shots. They're not getting any points, but they must be feeling a lot better.
Well, that kick just stood up, didn't it? You could have given it a 50-50 chance. At least it would have kicked on. It would have rolled forward, but it stood up and gave David Milne the chance to get to it first. Famita was waiting. He wanted the ball, willing the ball to come to him.
Now, sorry, Warren, the last goal line dropout. We've got a stoppage of play here. For what reason, I'm not sure.
What about the dropout?
Just to get the ball back into play. But last goal line dropout, East were too deep. They didn't catch this ball on the full, and it cost them precious metres. This time they surge forward to make sure they do catch it on the full. That'll make a difference.
So they're 30 metres out, the Tigers. Van Dyke calling the shots on the right-hand side, but the hit-up comes from Dwayne Rigby. A lot of talk from Van Dyke. He's marshalling his troops on the right. They go to the left for one more hit-up from from Thorpe.
Oh, he's hurt. He grimaced in pain, did Brent Williams. He's got up. Maybe it was just and there's a penalty gone to them as well. He was twisted awkwardly, and perhaps he was just momentarily concerned. Flicked backwards, lost the ball. But they're back on the attack again, the Tigers.
And it's Thorpe again, so he's okay, he's willing. Van Dyke to Stosic. Face ball across Williams. And Shepherd goes deeper to Kaufman this time. Phillips straightening through as Lindsay.
Good play, good defence too.
And sweeping it to the left, Van Dyke looks for Campbell via a second rower. It's out now to the winger, and they're trying to get through on that far side. Ruthenberg can't get away.
Scrambling defence again by South Logan.
Van Dyke puts the kick through. Will it stay in play? Ooh, a big effort from Shepherd to get to it, but couldn't make it.
Pressure off now for South Logan. Dean Shepherd there stunned, as was David Milne. He's still down, Milne, in that collision. South Logan, well, they've done pretty well to withstand that some pretty enterprising attack, Gav.
Yeah, look, it was. I was thinking during the call and then talking to Mark Beaumont at half-time, you know, the South Logan boys started off really well. They sort of dropped away a little bit before coming home with a bit of a wet sail in that first half. And just, they've dropped a few balls in this second half. And if the Tigers could get a try and get into it and then maybe get another one, you know, you just wonder whether South Logan is starting to doubt themselves a bit and needs to gain that bit of confidence. But at the moment, the hardest thing for the Tigers is getting that first one.
They'll have to defend as well. In the meantime, Stewart does well to juggle. And just decides he'll cut his losses and take it forward, which was the right thing to do. Last tackle play. Lindsay will expect a high one, and that's what he's going to get. Pressure on him as well. They can't take him in the air, so he stayed on the ground, the kid. Instead, it's been picked up. Good tackle.
Oh, 6 more.
Lindsay got a hold, made the tackle, and he's conceded a penalty. Could just about been a professional foul because they were shot to bits, really.
Well, Herbert raced through after that bomb and virtually just waved his arm through the air, which put the fullback off, caused him to knock it on, and they got 6 more.
He needed to jump, Lindsay. Then he's a protected species, but he didn't. He stayed on the ground. Wally now, a couple of metres out. This could put it beyond doubt. Pickard goes himself. Second time he's gone himself from close. You really got to be sure for a halfback that you've picked the right time. Up there to Herbert. Second man play. Up to Phil Dennis. Good work, James Van Dyke. Couldn't make the tackle though. Dennis turns it back on the inside. The Tigers defence willing. Not allowing the insurgents by David Milne. He's been up in that back line all day. Herbert pops the pass, keeps it alive as well. Herbert up there to Pickett. They've got extras. Pickett throws the dummy this time. Slips over. Well, the turf is lush, as we've said. Goes down, long pass. Oh, intercept. Intercept by Farmita. Nice work too. Got it back outside the 10-metre line. Were they onside? Kaufman brings it forward. I doubt they were, the South Logan boys. They've got their line back on this occasion.
One thing about the Tigers in this second half, they've been smart. They've been getting the ball to Liam Campbell, and he's been attacking Quentin Laulu Tongagai's defence. Here they go again on that left-hand side, whereas on the right-hand side for the Tigers, they're running into Josh Stewart, and his defence has been rock solid.
Yeah, they've shown some good attack. The tie. They're going to go out there to Liam Campbell again. He comes back on the inside, dances around a couple. Good tackle it was to wrap that ball up. He was trying to get back on the outside, and Phil Dennis makes a good tactical tackle there. Van Dyke will just get this down the other end. Quentin Laulu Tongagai playing fullback with the versatility they've got. The ball's gone into the trees. Bounce back out. But Van Dyke, good kick to put his opponents deep back in their own territory.
Well, you take that 12-0 start. It was 12-0 after 12 minutes out of the game, and it's been a much more even contest since then.
Well, and Warren, they should have got that try by that Liam Campbell wasn't able to score. They've gone close a couple other times. It still could even be 22-10 now. But instead, they haven't been able to get the ball across the chalk, and that's all that counts.
I saw Troy Thompson in that last attacking set from South Logan with a good offload out the back. They haven't been able to stop him offloading, and while he's with the Raiders now, he either will be retiring or possibly going to the Melbourne Storm next year.
Got him inside the 10 metres at the base of the scrum. That's a cruel penalty. And looking at that South Logan completion rates, they weren't too impressive either. I think I saw 16 out of 28 or something. So South Logan have allowed the Tigers to at least stay competitive. There you are again. That's not a good result for a team who's vying for back-to-back minor premierships, especially with only one more game to go up to the final. You won't win finals with that sort of completion rate.
But David, you said earlier as well, they're on a bit of a soft run at the moment, aren't they? They're playing some of the lower ranked sides, and you know, they've had some good wins, and this might be just the culmination. I think they've got Redcliffe next week, so that'll be a good tough one for them going into the finals, and perhaps just a tune-up that they need to before those semis.
There's another one on the deck, so that's just not much better than 50%.
16 out of 29.
That's a shocker.
Yeah, look at the error rate there.
Yeah, and East have been the ones who've thrown a bit of caution to the wind. So really, when you look at that, it's East defence that have just totally the points, the 4 tries that South Logan scored was a lot of bad defensive decisions. And that's what cost the Tigers so costly. This time, the versatile Dane Phillips.
It's a good call, David, isn't it? Because it has been defensive decisions rather than defensive misses by players, as evidenced by those missed tackles that we saw earlier. So, yeah,
their teamwork in defence. Here it is, Lindsay. This is a good build-up of play. Up there to Coffin, throws the dummy, tries to keep it alive, but hang on to it. I think he did the right thing. This time, little fella in Shepherd fires up there to Jace Van Dyke, back on the inside to Stossing. You wouldn't believe it's the same side from the first half. You'd reckon this was well and truly nose-to-tail game, this, or nose-to-nose. Little chip over the top, Robinson. Nicely done, but again, put him in the pocket and say, get out of there if you can. We're not going to make... That was Brophy, actually, who made the take. The Tigers are putting it to South Slagan, and it's a credit to them. They could easily have thrown the big white towel in. There's no suggestion of that. Again, South Slagan, no, get their minds back on the job. They got the game won. There's more to winning the game at this stage of the season. It's how you do it. Wally slowly up to play it. This time Robinson works his way forward, up over the halfway line. Last tackle play. Well, they go for an attacking kick. Herbert, he's just going to go for a pocket play. He wants this to sit. And on these lush conditions, he can't do it. The Tigers will come back to the 20.
It's a bit of a standoff at the moment, isn't it? With 20 minutes to go. 22-0, but just in the who's going to break loose with the next try, a little bit harder to determine.
Old Boys Day here at the Tigers as well today, put on by the Old Boys Association, or Past Players I should say, Association down there. Plenty of good patronage down there, and I'm sure they're looking for something to cheer, to lubricate their throats with, so they can get a couple of more beverages into them.
Oh, big hit comes in, and full effect of that is felt by Williams. Now it's Dwayne Rigby.
This is a handy penalty. Brad Cross not agreeing with the ref's decision.
Yeah, the penalty's 5-4 in favour of the Tigers.
Might have been Jared Kennedy who had a couple of things to say.
Just a fraction high, the tackle. Van Dyke finds touch, so once more the Tigers cross into Magpie territory, and a good platform to attack, 40 metres out. And Stossek takes out 10 metres of that 40. Good hard run, but he hasn't been able to break through the tackle. Kaufman with Panapa, and Leon Panapa goes to ground. Kaufman getting more and more involved now. Short pass.
Too flat there. It was pretty obvious what was going to happen. They had to be shut down at that point. They were never going to get it wide. Now they go wide.
Van Dyke with an even wider pass. Went past his centre there, Campbell. And it's Matthew Ruthenberg who collects it. Last couple of passes haven't been all that accurate. Last couple of plays. Van Dyke decides to kick on the fourth.
Played at.
Rebounding.
6 to go.
So they can just set up here. Lindsay's got it. Now the 20 out. Can they get this elusive try?
Let's set up for your pet play. That's how to do it.
Panapa slips back up. Picker's trying to grab him. And now it's out to Shepherd. King comes in. Kaufman wider to Van Dyke. Straightening, looking for it himself. To the right again, and the pass to Panapa held onto it, he did. Good effort. They rushed up on him, and he offloads out the back. Phillips has got it. A skip and a pass. Lindsay, short ball for Kaufman, well tackled.
Again.
Cross, I think, was the tackler. And now Phillips back inside, and it's lost. Van Dyke was on his way to the line, but left it behind. Touch judges in.
He finished over the line too, Van Dyke. Let's see what the touchy's got to say. Could be a penalty to...
South. I can get a number on the South player. Okay, so
number South.
Yep.
South player being reported.
Against South.
Yeah, against South.
What a great effort by Panapa.
Let's just have a way. We'll deal with this in that. Where's the mark?
The ball alive earlier. Maybe he's going to come right back to that spot.
You haven't got a number? No, I was against South. Captain, Phil.
They've played the advantage there with East on the attack, but now they're coming back to earlier in the set. There are a couple of tackles made in this place. May have been a slightly high tackle. A bit of a scuffle.
Phil Dennis feels like he's been here before. It's the second time they're going to give away a penalty from a touch judge report with no number confirmed.
Touch judge is on.
South players come through. East players shepherded the ball, gone to get the ball. South players pushed him in the back.
Further report, penalties here.
So
yes, your
if
guys
he's
push
trying to
him.
go get to the ball, that's not counted, is it?
If he pushes him in the back, you know it's illegal. It's a penalty here.
Okay, this where
Thanks,
the ball
Phil.
went out the back,
Thanks,
was it, from Panapa? You can see he's off the ball.
Yeah, it was James Stewart pushed him, trying to push him past the ball.
Technically a correct decision.
Fair enough.
If he had his hands on the ball, you can certainly push him, but when he was still away from it, you cannot push. You can shoulder, but can't push.
The Tigers reload. They've had a few shots here.
Come on, boys, let's get the scoreboard attendant working.
Shepherd to Kaufman. Stosic lines them up, charges at them. Stopped. Or is he? He is eventually. Took a bit of work from Josh White underneath. Shepherd to Kaufman. Kaufman short ball. Panapa smashed. Sitting duck. South Logan quickly back on their line. Van Dyke has another go at them. Campbell can't break through, can't pass either. Good defence. South Logan want to keep their line intact. Kaufman goes behind to Phillips. Stewart saw him, read it, bumped him. Oh, a big tackle. Oh, come on, that's ridiculous from the Tigers.
No need to go on with it at all.
Don't come in one.
That is ridiculous from the Tigers to react like that. Robinson, yes, he got his opponent in the air.
No. Jace.
I tell you what.
Jace.
Once upon a time, players wouldn't have even blinked.
That was a bad shot.
Jace, help him.
That was a bad shot. That's really silly.
A punch and a mouthguard went flying.
Yeah, but at this stage of the season, with South Logan lining up for finals.
And was that punch thrown by one of the Magpies?
Yeah, I think it was Reece Robinson. And it should never have started. I agree with you.
It was just one-on-one.
And I mean, the flipping action all happened so quick.
Take your boys away. Phil.
This wasn't the traditional upending tackle. Robinson is the guy.
In the end, his head is not coming down to the ground first.
No, there were a couple of somersaults, really, weren't they?
Look, once upon a time, the way we interpreted lifting tackle now has changed.
17 East.
17 East. Dean Shepherd, he was the one that was involved. There's Robinson.
There's no need to go on with that tackle. He's jumped on him, the tackle's over. He doesn't have to flip him over on his back.
That looks like Phillips came racing in, was it?
But all that wouldn't have bruised a grape.
No, absolutely, 11. I agree. And a couple of punches wouldn't either.
The last one would have, though.
Maybe.
Would have made a bit of wine, actually.
Looks like they're calling out Josh White.
Same as you guys, fellas. Penalty's already been awarded. There's no need for you guys to get involved, okay? 11 away, 5, stay here. Mark's over there, boys. Nothing else.
Reece Robinson's there.
Dangerous tackle, put him in a bad dangerous position. Going on report.
He's gone on report for putting the player in. So for the tackle, he hasn't been reported for the late punch in the melee.
What I was going to say, David, these days lifting tackles are regarded as dangerous and they're much more heavily enforced. Once upon a time, they weren't regarded that way. And now players come racing in like someone's committing murder time after time. Everyone's level of reaction to it has changed remarkably in regard to the degree of the offence.
And often unnecessary. So, I mean, that was not a spear tackle. That just flipped him over.
There was no reason for anyone to run in there and get upset.
And it was all accidental. There was nothing that was intentionally at the early start. This time the big fella there taking it up at Panapa. He was the one who was able to offload some good ball a little while ago. Dean Shepherd to dummy half. Up there to Kaufman. Out there to Van Dyke. Van Dyke decides not to go wide. He wants someone to come back on the inside. Phillips will oblige him. On the outside there to the little fellow in Lindsay. Good defence, South Logan. I tell you what, the Tigers have thrown a lot at them in the last 5 to 10 minutes, and they have repelled them every time. Up the middle, the big fella Cameron Durnford, the experienced Cameron Durnford. Van Dyke, dummy on the inside, pass out here then to Phillips. Phillips says, I quite like this. Oh, that looked to be forward. Up there to Shepherd. Little step and Nowhere to go. Last tackle play. Put a bomb up, fellas, and try your luck. The lottery. Stand a little kick down. Was that knocked on? I think they're going to have another one. Knocked on by South Logan. Well, if nothing else, Gav, it's good tackling practice.
Well, and they're going really well with it, David, aren't they, South Logan? I mean, obviously the little melee that we had there before has fired them up. They'll be determined to try and keep their line intact. Their attack's not quite there this second half. East have had all the ball. It's great tackling practice.
Yeah, possession certainly swung the Tigers' way. Possession and territory. But they still haven't cracked them.
They can't make 10 metres. That last 10 metres is the problem.
Yeah, they're smart, South Logan. They keep backing off, don't they, Gavin? They're coming up, but once they get there, then they just hold position.
Yeah, they do. Look, it's great that they can keep working those patterns. You have offensive patterns, you have defensive patterns as well. And their defensive pattern is certainly working well here. It'd be interesting to see what they got left in the tank now that they got the football.
Did they get Tigers for knocking on there, did they?
Somewhere along the line, obviously.
Yeah, it looked like Robinson knocked on, didn't it? But yeah, it was a scrum feed to South Logan.
Might have been a knock on before that. Well, Wally cut down the good tackle, although a man down injured too. Went down very low in the tackle. Might have just copped a...
Well, the Tigers have got 2 down at the moment, 1 in back play and 1 near the ruck.
Van Dijk's the man in back play, and he hobbled up earlier too with an ankle or leg injury.
It doesn't look good for Jace Van Dyke, and he's been important for them.
And was this Brent Williams? Here's the low tackle. It wasn't, got his head in the wrong places, Dean Shepherd. And,
well, it's a double blow. Dean Shepherd's been enthusiastic. Jace Van Dyke instrumental. Both, well, Van Dyke's off and won't be coming back, you wouldn't think. Doesn't look good, Gavin.
He wouldn't be leaving the field if it wasn't semi-serious at this stage.
Dean Shepherd getting back to his feet now, may be able to continue.
He's very groggy. He deserves a spell. Yep.
Yeah, Lance Morris is on his feet, as is Fabian Suter. Morris is on.
Tackle 3.
Yeah, Dean Shepherd looks dazed.
Needs a rest.
And that might disrupt the efforts here of the Tigers. They've been trying very hard.
19, plenty of time.
No, Fabes.
Jason Gainey just giving instructions on who's going to play where. He's had to give a few of those today. There's been a fair bit of shuffling of players in all positions, none the least Dane Phillips.
Time you run, fellas.
From hooker to outside backs.
We've had 28 minutes of the second half and no change in the score. It's still 22-0.
Amazing 4 tries in the first half, and they're going to kick from inside the 40. Good kick it is too. Close to 40-20. I think it's a 40-20. Well, what a good kick there. I think it was it Picker?
Herbert, I
or
think.
Herbert. Yeah, Herbert. And they have got the feed. So that's after the breakdown and play. Often, Gav, they set for these, don't they? Knowing you've had a stoppage in play. Okay, how are we going to set up here? Let's punch one of these.
And Gavin, you said in the first half the wind was swinging around. It does look like the Magpies have had the wind in both halves.
Yeah, well, other than the first brief period, I think, when it was behind the Tigers at the start of the match, I think you're right, Warren.
Herbert's used it well there.
Come together, hold the weight.
Well, big test here now for the Tigers. They've had a mammoth amount of possession. Now they've got to do a bit of tackling. Can they remember how to do it? Picker to the line, pops out the back to Milne. Steps, beats one, can't get away from the second. Scrambling defence here from East to shut them down. But the work has only just begun. Matty King run out of dummy half, up there to the big fella Wally. Again, good defence from the Tigers. Courageous stuff. Picker to Stewart, pass on the outside. Robinson, has he scored it?
In a touch, I think.
We're going to go to the video to check.
He's copping it from the Tigers crowd because he's on report for that punch.
Did seem to pack up Robinson, as in to go down low, and there's a good chance. Touch, no, well and truly into touch. Well and truly. We had a touch judge on the other side with a millimetre putting his flag up. Millimetre into touch, and we see forward passes go about 4 metres forward, and they let them go. There are some extremes.
That was a pretty easy decision for the officials, for the video ref.
Having said that, well, I reckon Queensland Cup officials do a really good job. I don't see anywhere near the same level of controversy as we get in the NRL. I think they do a really good job. Maybe they could do a bit of a swap scene.
Well, I think part of it is that most weeks we have the same video ref, Tony Maxud. He's experienced and he's calm. He's not rattled by the occasion.
And I believe there's a vacancy in the video referee's box down in Sydney at the moment. So, Tony, what are you doing next week? He does a good job of video refereeing, let me tell you.
Mistake here from the Tigers. Yes, Tau Famita has stepped over the ball, put it down.
We know he does a good job, Warren, because he agrees with us most of the time.
He lets us know when he doesn't.
Straight after the game.
Or the following week after the review.
Rule 24.5 says.
But to be honest, I don't mind it. It's good feedback.
No, it is too.
It's good feedback.
Let's see if South Logan can launch an attack again. Pick up. Pass out here to Stewart. He's a good player, is Stewart, but just takes the tackle. They hold him up and push him, throws it back on the inside. Where's the defenders? Pick up, gets a hold of it. The big fella there in Pittman surges to midfield. Tigers' defensive line looks well positioned and Pittman in trouble. Very slow up. Working down the middle, up there to Wally again. Nowhere to go there as the defenders get to him. Well, the Tigers haven't had to do a lot of defending in the second half, but what they've done so far has been good. Ball out there to Herbert. Good pass on the outside to Milne. Milne keeps alive too. Where's that Tonga guy? I think it was Tonga guy on that one. Might have been Brophy. Pass out Herbert. This time up there to Josh White. He keeps it alive. Back there to King. Danger here for the Tigers. Good tackle there by Dane Phillips. Brings the big fellow down. Back this time to Herbert. Herbert to the line. Does well to offload. Good pass as well. Up there to Milne. Milne close, but again, 4 or 5 defenders in there. 3 ultimately or to finish him off, but desperate defence from the Tigers. They're playing for a bit of reputation here. Pass on the outside of Stewart. He's into a bit of space. A good defence again. He keeps it alive. Robinson must score this time. Well, finally they get across with a good effort by James Stewart to keep the ball alive. Out then to Reece Robinson, who dives across in the corner. The desperation didn't let them down in the end. They just ran out of numbers. Pick out to Stewart, and he takes them on and then does well to stand with a lot of defenders on him. Pops it to Reece Robinson, who sneaks in the corner.
Well, Stewart thought he could do it himself. Probably, well, he didn't really have time to get the pass immediately away to his unmarked winger, but when he did, Reece Robinson dived over virtually unopposed. So good effort from Stewart. In fact, a lot of these South Logan players, the tall players, have been able to offload over the top. They're strong in the upper body, and this just good determined work. 3 men on Stewart, so there had to be some space in the defence outside.
And one of those 3 men needed to wrap the ball up. You can't just get in there and give body contact and wrap the body up. Stewart, as you say, were on there strong up top, these guys, and if the ball's still free, they're going to look to offload.
Well, they've done it well today, guys like not only Stewart, but White, and as well as that Thompson have got away quite a lot of offloads when the tackle looks like it's virtually been completed. Offloads 10-4 in favour of the Magpies. Herbert from the sideline. It's pretty good. Looking off the boot. No, it's missed. So Souths have finally scored in this second half, 26-0.
Well, it's taken 33 minutes to get the first points. A number of opportunities to the Tigers before this. And South Logan went close on a few opportunities here as well before this try. Stewart thought he could get there. Famita, who prevented a try to Robinson earlier, almost did the same there to the centre and Stewart, but popped that ball beautifully out to Robinson. He had no trouble getting to the corner post this time. No need for Tony Maxud to have a look at that one. And the first points of the second half go to the Magpies.
Yeah, it was a pretty good effort from Famita to initially stop Stewart there, but the teammates arrived too late to stop the pass. So South Logan finally broken the shackles. But I think they'll be quite pleased with the way they've defended in this second half, because the Tigers have had plenty of ball. Wally cops up one. Oh, big hit from Stosic.
And he's going to stop the game here now. One because Wally is stunned. But I want to check this one as well. What a tackle from James Stosic. He played for 40. Wham, bam.
It was more chest on chest, wasn't it?
Played 47 NRL games, James Stocky, for Cronulla and Gold Coast Titans. Played Wakefield last year. He's come in with the big hit on Kieran Wally. Kieran saying, where am I? A bit of a head clash as much as anything to make him groggy. It's his real bodies on the line.
Yeah, where is Wally? Kieran's got no idea, unfortunately.
No.
He's worked hard. He's really a go-to man when it comes to hitting it up and doing it regularly.
Yeah, he wanted to play the ball, but they rightly have said, no, go and take a spell, mate. We need you next week.
He looks okay as he's walking off now. It's, the marbles are settling back in place.
But the front rowers never like it, Warren, to actually have to go off the field from a clash with a co-front rower. He would love to have played the ball, but they've still made the right decision, the officials, to say, no, go and have a spell, mate. You've had a strong game. We need you for next week and then the finals.
And
And he's only now just getting to the touchline. Going back on.
Now, South Slogan actually got 13 men on the field. Only 12.
12, I think, is right.
I think they may have used up all their interchanges. Or they've only got 12 out there. But they've got a comfortable lead. Herbert chips down the middle and Mill's giving chase. Mill looking for the bounce. Tried to kick ahead. Lindsay's got it instead. Counter-attack from Lindsay. Herbert's in front of him. Can he beat him on the outside? Good tackle, Mark Herbert.
Yeah, well done, Herbert. He tried to stand him up and then Herbert just kept going with him. Even the stop-start by Lindsay didn't fool Herbert. Can they get a try, Warren?
I wouldn't put too much money on it. They've met stiff resistance through the second half. Kaufman out wide. Campbell wide to Famita with Robinson in front of him. Steps inside and coming around the back. Morris wanted the pass, couldn't get it.
Well, it's a 12-man defensive line. They should be able to score. A couple of dummy runners and then put it out wide.
It's Phillips kicking for the corner. Campbell gives chase. Campbell's got it. Campbell scores. Easter on the board. Easter on the board at last. They've tried very hard in this second half and they've finally been rewarded.
Thank goodness. Liam Campbell, who was the guy who put his shoelace, the bootlace on the line earlier. Good kick it was. I like the way that Dane Williams has filled in everywhere and anywhere. Little chip over the top and Liam Campbell grounds it. In the dying minutes of the game, they finally get a try. They thoroughly have deserved this try, actually. They've had a courageous second half. They had nothing to play for, the Tigers. They forgot about putting the white flag up and throwing the towel in. They've come out and said, no, we're going to have a go.
Yeah, they've been saying right through the second half, like Kamal, why is life so unkind? But this time, Campbell, who was denied previously when he put a little toe on the sideline as he went over, this time he safely gathers and scores. And smart work by Phillips with that kick.
Yeah, it was a good little crossfield kick. The space was there, the 12-man defensive line after a good bust on this right-hand side. And I think Liam Campbell was involved with the long pass out to Famita on this right-hand side. So he'd come across to try and work the right and then got his way back to the left to finally get their first try, the Tigers. Now, they've deserved it, but also we need to give credit for South Logan because they've repelled them on every other occasion. It was the 12-man line that ultimately surrendered their territory.
Pau Famita with a difficult attempt at conversion, but he's got it on target and swings it around. Beautiful kick from Pau Famita. And it's 26-6 in favour of the Magpies.
A couple of smiles on the Tigers' faces there, and a well-deserved try to Campbell. Good little kick here from Phillips, just popped it over the top. As you said, in the days gone by, they'd have tried to throw a long pass out to the winger there to get him in the clear. But the little kicks, they're so adept at them. The goal here from Famita obviously just adds to the point scoring total there for the Tigers. But look, they have played much better in the second half. They've defended well. They've worked hard in attack. They've lost a couple of key players as well lately. They are playing against 12 men, but good to see them get on the board. And who knows, they might get another one.
Well, it's not out of the question. We've got 2 minutes to go, and they're in possession, the Tigers. South Logan, having finally seen their line crossed, won't want to concede another one to end the game on a poor note because they have been the dominant team throughout.
Numbers.
Overlap well and truly.
It's the end of the overlap. And Kidd went back inside.
Well, that was Ruthenberg back inside there, and now he's having a bit of a push and a shove with Stewart.
Not bad for a 19-year-old.
Quick play the ball. Away goes Shepherd. Oh, Kaufman can't take it.
Wasn't a good ball, though.
Matt King's got it.
Troy Thompson thought it was a good ball.
Yeah,
he was going to get his tackle count up.
Yeah, was he?
And Thompson goes to dummy half. Now the run comes from Lewis Balcombe.
Hey, move! No tries here, Lance, no tries! Now, what's the kick?
Thompson pops the pass nicely to White. Almost contemptuous the way he passed that. No look. The 20 out. Hungry for one more, South Logan. Herbert goes to the line. Outside to Cross. Cross is strong. And a lot of people try to stop him. 6 in the tackle, I reckon, on Cross. And they have held out. A couple of tackles still to go. Herbert. Thompson. Back to Herbert. Out the back to Picker. Picker with men. Picker goes himself. Picker's over. Picker finishes the game the way he started it, making a break out wide. And South Logan do add a little bit of icing to their cake. 30-6 looks pretty impressive with the kick to come. Thompson planned the attack, the pass back to Herbert. Out it came to Picker, and the halfback scurrying between two defenders. Herbert loomed up. He's been keen and enthusiastic today. Herbert gave it out to Picker. And Gavin, it was a good try.
It was a good try. Look, he's had several goes at the line this afternoon, Picker. He certainly made a break early in the first half, didn't come to anything. Scored one in the first half from back up of a good long break. And he has tried. He's been close 2 or 3 times, but he finally threw a dummy there. The gaps were just opening up, obviously only seconds to go, and he gets across for his second try. So it was a good result for the South Logan Magpies in the end. But, you know, a spirited second half from the Tigers. They were probably, you know, with one game to play, they're probably entitled to forget about the second half after an unhappy first half. And they didn't do that to their credit. And to they came out, they had a go, they threw the ball around. They had South Logan under a little bit of pressure there for quite a while. Could have been a different result, perhaps, if they'd have got one of those early tries when they had a few of those half chances. But wasn't to be today, and South Logan deserved winners.
Absolutely. And Reece Robinson is about to take this conversion attempt, the last of the game. He is on report for a punch thrown in a melee after he initially made the tackle, which may have come into consideration as a dangerous one, but it looked like he might have been the one who threw a punch as well. He moves in, he's pushed it wide, and he puts his hand to his forehead. But his teammates are happy with this victory. 30 points to 6 in favour of South Logan, and they are on track very much to be the minor premiers. Thanks, David. 30 points to 6 in favour of South Logan. They scored 6 tries to 1 for East, a solitary try to Liam Campbell, and converted by Pau Famida for the Magpies. Michael Picker got 2, Michael Brophy, David Milne, James Stewart and Reece Robinson scored tries. Mark Herbert kicked 3 from 5, and Reece Robinson missed with 1 shot at conversion. So a good effort from South Logan. They remain on top of the competition, beating East comprehensively today. And next week, we're looking forward to the clash between Burleigh and the Northern Pride. That match could really be counting towards who makes the final 6.